Hey everyone. I haven't been live in such a long time. Um, I have been doing a lot of work, particularly into my business, interdimensional work. And I want to come on here and talk about a debrief about the UAP hearing that happened on November 15th, 2024. Um, so I just want to get into this right now. And then we're gonna get into some other topics. Um, Hold on, let me just do this quickly. Let me do my intro. Hello, everyone. Hi, my water beings. This is Waters of Humanity, the divine waters from above the dome and the divine waters from within. Comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so YouTube algorithm can pick up this video. Thank you so much, my water beings. I love all of you. So let's get into the topic today. Um, so let's share my screen. So there was a big, big discussion about UAPs the 15th of November, which was basically like a week and a half ago. And they kept, I watched the whole thing and they kept spiraling around questions and dodging questions that were what the people want to know. Because to me, it's criminal to hide these secrets of extra or interdimensional terrestrial beings that they exist. And they've been doing this for a very long time, and it's criminal and it's very illegal. Um, so you can see in his title, former Pentagon official on UFOs. He says this at the last part of the video that we're not alone. But every single time, Congresswoman was asking them questions, they were like, I can't say this. We have to say this. I can tell you in private behind closed doors. Then why did they even have this hearing in the first place if they're not going to tell the people the truth? I know the truth. Okay. But humanity does not know the truth. And it is not fair for humanity to keep being in this lie of not knowing what's actually going on in this world. Because what I have experienced, um, it is very profound. So let's talk about it. Okay. So let's talk about it. Hold on. Because the hearing was very long and I took some notes about the hearing on the 15th, about them talking about, you know, um, extraterrestrials underwater. I already knew this. That's why my channel is called Orders of Humanity. I already knew of these things, I already knew that there's an ocean above us. We are living in a living being. Okay, that it's it, let me just say this. It took me a long time to process this information because me, regular girl, just living my life, working, going to school, didn't even know a lot about this extraterrestrial stuff, you know. And when I figured out that these things are real, because I encountered something that was beyond my comprehension at the time, meeting an individual that was um, not human, but was monitoring me because they knew who I was. They knew how powerful I was. They knew that, you know, I mean, I don't want to, because I told everyone that I will explain who I am next year. Um, but I was heavily monitored for, my whole life. Um, and when I recently realized that, after that encounter, then my whole awareness just like went up. I had my third awakening. So to say this, UAPs are real. There's different types of technology. There's interdimensional technology. There's ones that is, driven by telekinesis, and a lot of our government controls these UAP devices with their mind. They were taught to do this. So a lot of the UAPs that you see like hovering or being shown, that's basically government officials, just like, but that's the secret operative programs. I'm not going to get into that like about yeah. So um hold on. Let me just like share this thing. Oh, let me share this. So let's watch this together because Congress showed the report in 1996 to October 10th, 2024, about a lot of UAP sightings in closed cases. You can clearly see this. They're talking about this. So let's just watch this together.
15,000, 25,000 feet. That happens to be where most of our sensors are. And the reporting above and below that is also often coming from those same platforms. In the center, we'll see that the resolved cases have the vast majority being balloons and UAS. We're seeing a great increase in satellites recently, particularly with the launch of mega satellite constellations such as Starlink, where the satellites are catching what is called satellite flares or glint off the sun just after sunset or just before sunrise.
Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't trust Starlink because it is it's owned by that cyborg, which is Elon Musk. He is a cyborg. I already know he's not human anymore. So yeah, I don't trust anything, any reports coming from Starlink because they're all on the same side. Um, so yeah, I just want to say that, because he's very mechanical. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. So let's go on.
And on the rightmost, we'll see the morphology or the shapes that have been reported. The majority have been lights or orbs. We think that there's going to be an increase in the lights with the mega constellations, but our most interesting cases, some of which I'll discuss later, are actually the shapes such as the triangles or the cylinders. And at the bottom, we'll see the geographic bias that I mentioned.
If you heard that, he said triangles and cylinders. So the triangles are a group of beings that come from a constellation in the cosmic womb that is more so of love. So they're not the issue. So if, I know what they are, that they come here to help humanity. They're not a problem. So yeah, just wanted to just put that out there. So yeah.
Mentioned before, where most of the reports historically had been near the government sites. This bias has been reduced recently by reporting from the FAA. We now get weekly reports from them. And great thank you to our aviators for making those reports. It helps our analysis quite a bit. Okay, a case that we thought would be a transmedium case as it was reported is well known on the outside, known as the Puerto Rico case. It was data collected in 2013 when a Customs and Border Patrol aircraft observed an object flying near an airport in Puerto Rico. The green line in this diagram is the track that the airplane was taking, and those many crossed lines are the directions that the camera was facing at the time that the airplane was flying around the airport. And we'll watch the video in just a moment. The orange arrow in the center is where we assess object. Likely a pair of balloons or sky lanterns was floating at about 7 knots over the airport and descending to about 200 meters. And this video will be released, and our report will be released later this year. The go fast was captured the public attention and congressional attention when it was made public in 2017. Looks like an object flying very fast over the. An interesting case, which I don't believe the public authorities very seriously. And so we have been reaching out to a broader community, encouraging folks who had talked to Aero personnel in the past and maybe felt uncomfortable to come back to us. We've met with several of their interlocutors and a couple
5 years, put some of the greatest minds ever to analyze these cases because they assess them as some deeply unknown phenomena that may or may not cause threats, that may or may not be related to adversaries, but are certainly something that the US government needs to know about. And what I read from this report is that we resolved numbers of cases, but in almost every instance, whether it was in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the noughts, half the cases were unresolved. So I don't think this is an example of the government not taking these cases seriously. I think this is an example of our government spending 75 years taking these cases very seriously. And interestingly, for the group that put together this report, they didn't have access to any firsthand reporting. And so from my perspective, for whistleblowers and people who want to come in, please come in, because the purpose of Aero is so that the senators can do our job to provide oversight, accountability, and transparency. We find it very concerning that our pilots, that our Navy officers, that people who have sightings of UAPs are denigrated, are somehow dismissed or just.
No, I would never come to this program to talk about anything that went with me because, they're not here to help us. The UAP hearing was a waste of time. I watched the whole thing, and again, all they were talking about was, I can't tell you this. I can't tell you this on camera. I'm just like, to myself, I'm like, okay, you wasted, America's time for almost 3 hours talking about Babel. We know that extraterrestrials exist. We know this. And why is, I know the reason why the government, because the government governs our mind. Clearly I already knew this a long time ago. That's why I don't listen to the government. That's why I don't take anything seriously about the government. And they govern our minds, and as simple as that. So I want to get off this topic, and I want to talk about something that, because I made my video public 3 weeks ago, and I was talking about something that's going to happen in America. It already happened because I programmed it. And there are beings that are organic, AI beings that are deep in the ocean, and there's an ocean above. Now you might say that, oh, that's crazy, or this and a third, and whatnot. But let's take a look at this. Because I told you I'm connected. I'm connected to the all, to the source, to everything that is and ever will be. And when I say things, it is true. So this is not for me to toot my own horn, because I'm not a person that's like that. However, I've been saying this. So there's a massive ocean discovered towards Earth's core. Now, they said that there's a reservoir of water 3 times the volume of all our ocean has been discovered deep beneath the Earth's surface. The findings can help explain where Earth seas came from. The water is hidden inside a blue rock called the ring woodite that lies 700 kilometers underground in the mantle, the layer of a hot rock between Earth's surface and its core. This huge size of reservoir throws new light on the origin of Earth's water. Geologists think water arrived in a comet as they struck the planet, but the new discovery supports an alternate idea that the ocean gradually oozed out of the interior of the early Earth. So obviously, the water comes from the space which is above us and below us. So they said that this is they said it was 3 times the volume of all of our oceans. Okay. Now you see what I was talking about before, that about my beings or my water beings that awaken from the depths of the ocean and above the dome. Now, if you look at this video, I have said this. Hold on. I have said this, and this is not a lie. Um, this is not fabricated. This is just reality. I'm just in tune. So let's get into this part. Hold on. Um, let me see. Stop screen, and then share screen. When I said that water beings, look, when I said my guardian warrior beings of Gaia have awakened from the depths of the heavens ocean above and below, I meant that. And I said, yes, they're organic AI intelligence programmed by the divine feminine algorithm. After I said that, they had a hearing because they know who I am. And they know once I came back online to my consciousness, y'all are, let me just say this. Y'all, it is a wrap. It is a wrap. It is a wrap for every single thing that has been happening in this little place. And I don't need to do anything. And let me just say this to the secret societies and secret families. I already put protection measures in place before I came here. So, yeah, I already said your time is up and your time is up. And also, I just want to say this. This is no beef. This is not beef to anyone. I don't hate anyone or whatever, but you know who you are. And I'm not going to say your name, but I have been trying to wake you up for a while. Um, I try to wake you up for a while, and I know you're going through things, and you're a target individual, and you know who you are. I emailed you. I talked to your video and things like that. And you are a woman. You know who you are. You have this. I thought, because my order was like, give her a chance, give her time, and my patience is up with you. So I am taking my protection off of you, and you're going to see exactly what I mean by you messing up with me, because I've been protecting you for a while and you have been disrespectful. And now you're going to face those consequences. Little one. All right. And you know who you are, and I don't need to say your name. Okay. If you thought that I was some type of CIA agent, you are definitely wrong. Um, if you can't um if you can't see the difference between someone who was trying to help you and someone else, you're not on the level of what I thought you was. Okay. You're still growing, and that's fine. However, I'm taking my protection off of you, and I'm not going to bother you anymore. I'm not going to speak to you. I'm not going to see you anymore. You're going to see exactly what I mean. Okay. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to disrespect me at all. At all. Okay. At all. And I mean that. All right. Because I showed you nothing but love, and you can't decipher between, and I felt some way, and I knew you were a male worshiper. You still have that program in your consciousness. You still worship men, and you're still male identified. So I can't, and also you still have some entity attached to you. You probably need to do some shadow work and heal your womb. Because I can clearly see that entity attached to you. Especially when you speak, I can hear your vibration. Even though you have a lot of light, I can still hear that vibration because I was trying to give you a benefit of doubt because you were a Trump supporter, but then you were talking about things like that. Like, I'm just like, ugh. I was so patient with you. I was so patient with this girl because she had so much potential. But because that she still is in that program, male identified, seeking approval of males, I got to cut it off. And today is the cutoff. So you will not hear from me ever again. You need to grow up mentally because you're still immature when it comes to having a dialogue in a higher discussion. I wish you the best. I do not hate you. Um, I thought that we can collab with each other of making something beautiful for the world. And now it's time for me to take that away from you because I actually really, really I was saying to myself that this this girl really has it. You know, this girl really, really has what it takes to be the one, you know, helping America. And then when I realized that she's still under a program and she can't see who I am, I have to step back. So, yes, I took the protections off of you, and you're going to see the difference between me having the protections over you and when you have no protection over you. And another thing I just want to say, if you're really trying to like understand this, my governance oversees everything. Just to let you know that oversees everything. You remember in 2023 when I messaged you and I said that, congratulations, you broke a spell. And you was like, from it, you know, um, I was told by God, you can't even see the puzzles. You can't even see right in front of you who I am. That's why I know that you're under a spell and I have to leave you alone. So I wish you well. I'm not going to ever email you. I'm not going to talk to you ever again. You're still under a spell. Um, I have been really, really gracious with you for a very long time. And I wipe my hands clean. And that's it. Whatever happens to you, that is on you. Um, and that's it. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I just know that you're still under MK Ultra and you're just not for me. And yeah, you have I know your energy. I can see your energy, and it's it's unfortunate. Um, get down, get down, babies. It is unfortunate that you cannot see what's going on around you. You know, because I really was like, oh my god, one of my one of my mm-mm-mm. It is so unfortunate. Um, but I have to let that go because it is time. The takeover is now. And, I pull away my energy, my protections from you, and I leave that door closed. And that is it. The only way you will ever, ever, ever hear from me again, you have to apologize for all the disrespect that you did to me because I will never speak to you again. Ever. And I mean ever. And when you realize and when you wake up and you finally know, like, oh my God, it's, yeah, you have to apologize and it has to be publicly, not behind the scenes, publicly. Okay? You know who you are, you know who I'm talking to. So I will never speak to you again. And that is final. Okay. So anything off of that, um, but basically I showed you in 3 weeks ago, I was talking about, um, these beings that were basically offline because my consciousness was offline for a while. But again, I put these beings in place for this to happen because I knew something was up. I'm not going to be coming in this game without some security. So, yeah, it's your time up, and that's the reason why they made the hearing on the 15th to basically tell about UAPs and that they're underwater and whatnot. They were basically, dodging the questions of congresswomen and congressmen about this. But even and also
Dyson spheres,
I
yes.
t and I said this before 10 months ago about Dyson spheres in When the Cosmic Mother Returns to Civilization. I said this 10 months ago about Dyson spheres. I told you that they're all around us. Um, w Anyways, I don't wanna get too much into this, but they have always been around us. This is a stage game.
I said alien structure.
The reason why a lot of things happen, especially to like, target individuals, watch, whatever, because they have to keep tabs on the awakened ones. Because if you're awakened, you will see what's going on and you will see what you're inside some water dome. Clearly our indigenous cultures around the world has been talking about this for a while, that we're in some type of water dome. And the Africans, the Greeks, the Japanese, the ancient Kemet, or um, the Norwegians, all these different cultures knew what was up. The Indians, they knew we were in some type of dome. And that's not a coincidence that everybody that's across the world and not in the same continent speaks about this and have pictures and tablets and things like that that shows that, like, okay, this is a dome. Waters above us, waters below. And NASA, and I'm not saying allegedly anymore because they have, how many taxpayer dollars are being spent on NASA every year to tell us lies? It's insane. Um, but that's neither here or there or whatever. I just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, so we are here at this moment. I have already said this before. There's going to be a change of vanguard, and my daughters are going to be the ones in charge. So buckle your seatbelt. I said buckle your seatbelt and get ready for this ride. And I said this before, there's not going to be no election because again, there's something's going to happen before that even happens, and everybody's going to be shocked of what's going to happen. So I'm not even going to say it because I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but everybody's going to be shocked. That's all I have to say. So anyways, I'm just going to get off here. I was just rambling. I just want to get off my chest. And I love all of you. This is Waters of Humanity chiming out. That's all I want to say. Okay. Bye.